Hey guys, how's it going? Ricky Widmer here from Most Valuable Podcast, here to give you my must-starts in fantasy football for week number 9. If you're new to these videos, new to Most Valuable Podcast, this is a video where I tell you the 5 guys where you got to have them in your lineup this week. If you do, odds are you're going to win your league this week. Now I'm going to get right into it. At number 5 on the list, quarterback. Maybe you need one because you got one on bye. Maybe you've got Joe Flacco, Carson Palmer. Maybe this guy's sitting on your bench. You have a few of them. Eli Manning. Eli going up against Tampa Bay this week. This is one of those matchups where Tampa Bay's defense has played a little bit well in the past. However, Eli played amazingly against the Saints. I expect that to continue. An easy, I'm going to say easy, 20-plus point performance for Eli this week. We're not going to see the Eli of old that slumps. We're going to see a 20-plus performance in fantasy out of Eli against the Bucs. Then at number 4, and I almost didn't put this defense on the list, but because of who they're playing, got to go with the New Orleans Saints defense and special teams. Yeah, they didn't have as great of a week last week because they got into a shootout with the New York Giants. However, going up against the Titans this week, come on, Titans fired their head coach. There's no way that the Saints defense doesn't have a good time against Zach Mettenberger and this Titan offense. Don't expect the Titans to do anything against the Saints. Go ahead and start them. Hey, especially if you've got what me and Mark have in the onside kick league, and you've got maybe Seattle's defense on the bye. Then at number 3, this is a tricky one. Coming off of a bye, I'm going to say start DeMarco Murray. I know he's going up against the Cowboys, but this is not the same Cowboys team that DeMarco saw earlier in the season. This isn't the same DeMarco Murray we saw earlier in the season. I expect DeMarco to have a better game in the second one against his former team. Go ahead and start him, even if it's in a flex spot this week. Make sure he is in your lineup for when you start games in week number 9. Then at number 2, and I always hate mentioning his name unless it's for the must-sits category, but I got to go with Jay Cutler. For the past 4 weeks, has either been a 17 or 19-point performer, going up against the Chargers, who let Joe Flacco get, I believe, 22 points against them. This is a guy where, like I said, if you have a Carson Palmer, you have a Joe Flacco, you have a quarterback that's on the bye, let's say you have a Matty Stafford that's on the bye, go ahead and start Jay Cutler. You're not going to be upset with this one going up against the Chargers. Going to have a good week. And then at number 1, in past videos, I've said players like this are always going to be at number 1 till the Raiders prove me wrong. Well, they didn't play a team that had a tight end last week, so I'm going to say they didn't prove me wrong, but I'm going to go with Heath Miller of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, he had 100 yards last week. The Raiders don't know how to, unless last week was them really knowing how to guard the tight end. I'm going to say it's the Jets not having a quarterback because they had 2 injuries, but I'm going to say Heath Miller, my number 1 must start going up against the Raider defense. He's got to have at least 10 points in this game, maybe a touchdown, maybe 2. Maybe we can see a 20-point performance out of Heath Miller this week. But that is going to do it for my must-starts this week for week number 9. Let me know down below what you guys think. Is there anyone that I left off the list? I know I can only get 5 each and every week, but who's a must-start for you this week in fantasy football? Also, if you have any questions about your fantasy team, either hit me up down below in the comment section or right up there on Twitter. I love answering your fantasy questions. I want to thank you guys for checking out this video today. Go ahead, hit that like button, that sub button, and as always, have a good day, everybody.